So, Emily, this is the most offensive ads ever. Make sure I subscribe and like to this. So these are real ads that came out. So let's see what this is.
Would you fly on in for a September 11 deal? What about some cereal to cope with the Boston Marathon bombing? These are the most offensive ad campaigns ever. In 2011, Mexican restaurant Hacienda rented this specific billboard, on which they'd referenced the Jonestown Massacre, where cult leader Jim Jones had killed his entire following by spiking their Kool-Aid with poison. So what did the restaurant's billboard say? We're like a cult with better Kool-Aid, and their drinks were apparently to die for.
What the fuck? God
They should have
dang.
like they should have their logo be like some variation of the Kool-Aid Man.
No. Oh my god.
Hacienda's VP of Sales and Marketing explained, our role is not to be controversial or even edgy. We want to be noticed and there's a difference. We have a responsibility to advertise with care, and that's why we're pulling this ad. We made a mistake and don't want to have a negative image in the community, yet this wouldn't be their last controversial billboard. 5 years later in 2016, the restaurant made another reading.
The best Mexican food this side of the wall.
Really? Really? What the fuck is wrong with these people?
You can't
What
say
the
that.
fuck?
Which quickly went viral on
cannot
Reddit, sparking
say that.
outrage. Really
Oh my
disappointed
God.
Hacienda continues to push past what is acceptable for advertising. Not a fan of most of their billboards, but this is just too much. Hashtag take it down. Others showed their support in comments such as this one, yet unlike their previous billboard, Hacienda says it has no plans to apologize for or
What?
remove the ads. Their vice president
That is the
explained,
wrong
We don't
hill to
intend
die
to
on.
upset anybody, but we do use humor.
unless
Okay,
He's
white
just-
man, sure you don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the dude's a freaking white dude saying that? What the
Count Liquor
fuck?
applied a similar strategy. Alcohol, it's cheaper than therapy. If alcohol is not the answer, change the question. You look like I
Damn.
need a drink, and perhaps so did the people who tried to get the billboards banned. Take down billboards stating Lee's Liquor is cheaper than therapy. The owners of Lee's Liquor has
mean, it is
failed to
cheaper
remember
therapy,
the
it's not
implications of
wrong.
alcohol regarding DUIs, broken families, and when people commit manslaughter. Lee's Liquor owners think this is funny. Take this billboard down. Various comments agreed,
there's a
such
whole lot
as, this
of,
is
like,
irresponsible
more angry
advertising.
alcoholics than
You
there
can
are,
sell
like,
alcohol
responsible
without crossing this boundary,
drinkers
whereas
of
the
alcohol.
humor was liked by others. Hey dude, get a life. It's a very funny sign. I wish we had more signs in Vegas like this. If you don't like the billboard, go back to Utah.
Damn.
Lee's Discount Liquor ran their own billboard controversy poll, which found that 77.2% of people called the ad clever and not offensive, yet this didn't stop a mandate to take the billboard down. Even worse was a business card shared to Reddit reading, are you an alcoholic? We can help.
Oh my goodness.
Although they weren't offering
No.
counseling, but
Oh
rather
my
an alcohol
goodness.
delivery.
For liquor home delivery?
Oh my God, no.
God.
Bad enough DoorDash does it. Like, we don't need actual liquor stores just delivering liquor and asking them if they're an
Oh
alcoholic.
my
Service.
God.
In all seriousness, I assume it's just a bad translation and meant do you enjoy alcohol, we can help, but yeah, really should have run that by a native speaker first. In that very same year, British supermarket Tesco found themselves in the infamous horse meat scandal, where one of their burgers was found containing
Oh, no.
29% horse meat. Well, only
man.
2 days
Oh,
after the
horses.
scandal
Horses are
broke,
great.
Tesco tweeted, it's sleepy time so we're off to hit the hay. See you at 8 a.m. for
What?
No!
Are you
Tesco!
serious? It's sleepy
You discover
time,
there's
so we're
horse
off
meat in
to-
your product and you
It-
make a horse joke?
It's time to hit the hay.
Oh,
Oh
more
my
Tesco
God.
tweets, and the replies weren't too pretty. You're hitting the hay? Well, I suppose the poor horses don't need it anymore.
Oh,
Maybe hitting the hay wasn't the best choice of
That's
words
good.
right now. Plenty of room on the hay now that we've eaten all the horses.
God
Tesco
damn.
responded by tweeting, I'm
God
terribly
damn.
sorry. That tweet was scheduled before we knew of the current situation. We'd never intend to make light of it.
Really?
Mhm. No,
Really?
no, whoever owns this account absolutely 1000% was like, Haha, this will be funny. And I can just tell him I
Oh
didn't
my.
meet it later.
Right? What?
And in
the
case
fuck?
this wasn't bad
Oh
enough,
my God.
Tesco then had to scrap a
Oh
segment
my
of its
God.
latest advert, as it was due to include images of a horse. The horse was apparently said to be used in a humorous context, but while Tesco was simply a victim of bad timing, recipe website Epicurious was a victim of bad thinking. Because after the Boston Marathon bombing, they'd post
Oh,
two
no.
insane tweets. In honor of Boston and New England, may we suggest whole grain cranberry scones. Boston, our hearts are with you. Here's a bowl of breakfast energy we could all use to start today. The tweets were quickly shared to a media training
using a
website which wrote,
tragedy
"Get
to
your legs blown
advertise
off
their
by a
stupid
terrorist, try these
breakfast."
scones. Lose a cherished friend, maybe this bowl of breakfast energy can help," which then turned into articles by Mashed and Business Insider, as Epicurious was labelled by the public, morons, idiots, dickheads, and pathetic. The company responded with a copy and paste apology, leading to more criticism reading, a repeatedly
They can at
tweeted
least
template
vary
apology
it a little
isn't gen-
bit.
Right? Like, why do you?
Like, just go in there and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry to this person specifically. Oh God, that's my bad." Just say something different.
I don't get why people like this get themselves in situations,
Like, people are-
and
I
then
feel
they
like companies like that
continue.
are run by such old people. They don't understand that us younger people, we're gonna go dive. Okay, we're gonna dive into all of your
No, but
damn
like,
tweets, and we're gonna find every single one that you copied and pasted. We're gonna know.
why they get themselves in these situations? Then they continue to dig themselves in an even deeper hole. Like, just shut up.
I feel like
Don't say anything if you don't know the right thing to say.
Well, I feel like
Genuine.
it's
a
purely
form
because they think
letter.
they're
The steady
untouchable.
stream of identical tweets does nothing to engage with the audience and express human remorse, but were Epicurious's tweets as bad as Kenneth Cole's? Millions are in uproar in Cairo. Rumor is they heard our new spring collection is now available online, although the uproar had actually come from protests in Egypt,
Oh.
where 846 people were killed. Kenneth Cole quickly apologized before making the same mistake only 2 years later. In response to the Syrian civil war, he'd tweet, "Boots
People
on the
don't
ground or
learn.
not, let's not forget about sandals, pumps and loafers," sneakily advertising his new line of shoes. On a public billboard, Kenneth mocked
Fuck
the
his
Hudson
shoes, they're not
River
even
crash
cool shoes.
landing, but at least he had the decency to avoid September 11.
I'm sorry, but I seen this at the beginning of the video. I am hoping this is not as bad as it originally looked, but I think it's going to be worse than we think.
Unlike this
It
TV
wouldn't surprise me.
commercial by the Worldwide Nature
Oh,
Fund.
no.
It began by explaining in 2001, one of the worst tragedies in the history of humanity killed 2,819 people, before showing a bunch of other planes to articulate that in 2005 the tsunami killed 280,000 people. That's 100 times more deaths. The message of the ad was that our planet is
Bitch.
brutally powerful, yet it felt like they were minimizing the severity of 9/11 to highlight a natural disaster that couldn't have been avoided. Not only is the message offensive, but it's scientifically flawed. All the carbon reductions and recycling in the world won't prevent tsunamis. Advertising double fail. The commercial was so offensive that WWF tried to claim it did not authorize its production or publication, yet there was another 9/11 ad that was somehow even worse. It began to circulate in September 2013.
Subway.
What?
No, I have heard this one.
Fly on in for September.
heard of
Oh
this one.
my God.
Like, this was the biggest Subway fail ever.
Wow. Okay.
Like,
I don't
you
even know.
cannot say that.
I don't even know what they're about to say was their excuse. But
No,
you look
Dylan.
at this, and who the fuck would give the approval to post this?
No, Dylan, you know what's even more fucked up?
What?
There were 2 planes. There are 2-foot-long subs for 9/11.
That's what I'm saying. And look, one tower
oh
is
my
taller
God.
than the other one. And in the image, you got one sub a little bit longer than the other one. They did this on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And this is
They
a real
did.
ad.
No, there's no way they didn't. Fly on in for September 11th. You'll never forget this deal. And then 2-foot-long subs for 9/11.
Oh I love
No, they did it on
Subway,
purpose.
but this right here makes me not even want to eat there. Like that.
Whoever
is,
did this, 1000% got fired.
they. Oh my gosh. Well, let's see what Subway has to say about it.
and showed a man flying toward 2-foot-long subs, which you could buy for a price of $9.11. The ad was captioned with 2 pieces of text: "Fly on in for September 11th, and you will never forget this deal." But was the ad actually legitimate? Well, no. It was the work of satirical news site The Onion, which wrote from the structural steel melt on Tower 7 grain bread to the Twin Towers cold cut combo with ground zero carb vinaigrette on Let's whole wheat roll. We've got something for everybody this September 11th.
So, wait. So the ad wasn't real.
It wasn't Subway. Apparently, it
well, at
was
least-
this website.
Damn. Well, at least it wasn't Subway, but oh my god, that's just insane.
Despite clearly being a joke, a man named Travis tried to cash in on the deal, printing the
Oh
ad
my
to bring to his
God.
local Subway, which they unbelievably
wow.
accepted.
Is that a good coupon or no? It's
What?
a good coupon? It's good? Okay.
He and his friend were totally baffled,
Dude, I can't believe they did that.
even showing their receipt to prove they hadn't lied. If the coupon itself
Oh my
wasn't
God.
hilarious enough, the fact that Subway accepted it as a legitimate coupon had me rolling on the floor. Subway, however, wasn't impressed. Like everyone, we are deeply offended by the fake story and ad created by The Onion. The story received coverage in a Sydney Morning Herald article, which highlighted another 9/11 deal that was instead completely genuine. The now closed Tumbledown Trails Golf Club in Wisconsin posted this newspaper ad reading 12th anniversary of 9/11. To commemorate this, we are offering 9 holes with cart for only $9.11 per person, or 18 holes with cart for only $19.11. The owner of the course said the
Wow.
golf club began the promotion 2 years ago on the 10th anniversary of the attacks, and until now it had been warmly received as a way to ensure people never forgot the tragedy. He'd therefore add, "We're a little hurt by the fact that people are putting such a negative context on this. I thought people would appreciate it." It seemed the owner at least had some good intentions, although so did these 3 companies when they used hashtags incredibly wrong.
DiGiorno.
Sweets company Entenmann's wrote, "Who's not guilty about eating all the tasty treats they want without realizing not guilty was trending due to Casey Anthony's trial for the murder of her baby." They'd respond by tweeting, "Sorry everyone, we weren't trying to reference the trial in our tweet. We should have checked the trending hashtag first." Fashion brand Celeb Boutique wrote, "Hashtag Aurora is trending, clearly about our Kim K inspired Aurora dress, although this wasn't exactly true. The
Why do
hashtag
people
was
not
trending
check
due to
their
the Batman
hashtags?
movie theater shooting, which killed 12 people in Aurora, Colorado. We are incredibly sorry for our tweet about Aurora. Our PR is not US based and did not check the reason for the trend. At that time, our social media was totally unaware of the situation and simply thought it was another trending topic. We have removed the very insensitive tweet and will of course take more care in the future to look into what we say in our
They got
tweets."
fired.
Then there was DiGiorno's Pizza who wrote, "Hashtag why I stayed, you had
Oh,
pizza,"
no.
which was a hashtag started by women explaining
Oh
why
my
they
god. DiGiorno.
Yeah, the second they said
What?
why I stayed, I knew it was going to be about like domestic violence. You
Oh
cannot
my
look at
God.
hashtag why I stayed and think it's not about that DiGiorno.
What?
They stayed in abusive relationships. Unsurprisingly, the company then tweeted a million apologies, did not read what the hashtag was
What?
about before posting,
you
and to their
idiot
credit, they spent the entire
have
day
to read
responding
your
to every
hashtag.
complaint authentically. All social media experts,
least
please
they
take a
apologized
lesson from
authentically.
DiGiorno Pizza. When you step in it, you give real apologies and not excuses. Good job. However, Home Depot never got the memo, as they'd do the exact opposite. After posting a tweet which produced the article, Home Depot apologizes
Oh,
for
no.
racist game day tweet, terminates agency
you see
responsible.
what I see
So
in that
what did
picture,
the tweet
Doris?
say?
I see.
Which drummer is not like the others, attaching a photo that showed
Oh
black people
my
next to a
God.
monkey? You could argue it
You
wasn't that bad
can't
given
do
it
that,
said
and it's
which
a white
drummer
dude
is
wearing the
not
monkey suit.
Leave it to Home Depot to be the stupid idiots.
You can't. I mean, they are a super racist company, so it doesn't surprise me. But
What?
you cannot do that. That's so wrong.
How did Home Depot not get more backlash than that? Like,
Well, this is back in the day, so I guess like a few years ago,
Oh,
before
my.
like everything with ice and everything went down.
Jesus Christ.
Not like the others, although it's hard to know what Nivea was thinking when headlining an ad with the words "white is purity."
no.
The campaign was so wild people didn't believe it was real, although others
What?
tried to
No.
argue that the world was overreacting. Is the US so obsessed with race now that the first thing Americans think when they read white isn't the color but race? People, stop seeing everything with identity politics tinted glasses. Then there was this ad by Bic Pens reading, "Look like a girl, act like a lady, think like a man, work like a boss," which was hilariously designed to celebrate Women's Day.
Oh
People
my
didn't
What?
appreciate
Gosh.
it. If it's quite alright with you,
That's
Bic,
not
I'll look like a
celebrating
woman,
women at
act like a
all.
woman, think like a woman, and work like a woman. And you can F right off like an idiot. To make matters worse, Bic had launched the Bic for Her pen range 3 years prior, which had already been slammed as sexist.
They're just like regular pens, except they're pink, so they cost twice as much. That is
I mean,
absolutely
I
true
like a
as
pink
well.
pen. Why you gotta be
Well,
so
at last, pens
such
for
a
us ladies to
hater,
use. Now
Ellen?
all we need is for her paper, and I can finally learn to write. I was so disappointed to find that only 1/5 of the pens I received were pink. Or maybe more, I can't do maths. These pens fit perfect in my hands, but hubby feels they are unnecessary since he writes all the checks. I'd explain more, but I have to go make him a sandwich.
I mean, I don't really feel like
What?
that last one was that bad. I feel like they were really making that last one out to be way worse than it was. Like, it's just a cute pen. It's not that deep.
Wow.
Ad cam.
That is insane.
Like, that last one really wasn't that deep, guys. It's just
No,
a pink and a
but
purple pen. Like, you can
I
just
will
not buy it.
say
I wouldn't buy it, but, like, you just don't have to.
that 9/11 one and then that Home Depot one was definitely the worst ones.
That Home Depot one was too far.
Like, I saw this originally and I thought there was no way someone really posted this. But it wouldn't surprise me because people are stupid. Yeah, that Home Depot, that one just, good gosh, that is insane.